It is day 40 of my fruit fast. And if I have one key takeaway from this 40-day fast, this 40-day journey, is that free will is medicine. When you choose to make it so. I've been reflecting back on my journey, which started in Guatemala with Venus entering retrograde and is now ending in Costa Rica, with Venus still retrograde until sometime this week. So that my fast might not be quite done. I'm still feeling into it. And what I've realized is that while there was immense and intense and in-depth spiritual transformation and bodily transformation that did occur throughout this journey, with each day being its own transformation, the most powerful days, the most powerful moments were those when I just chose with my free will to activate the power of my soul, the power of my prayer, the power of my ability to take my life into my own hands and to create. There was a time when I was in Guatemala, and there still have been times here in Costa Rica, when I just thought and I felt, oh, I can just eat fruit, purify my being, and it will magically cure everything. All of my problems will go away. My soul will just heal all wounds within my body, all pains, make them disappear, and I will just step magically into my life in a way that is purposeful. And this is not without its truths. But what I realized, and what I noticed very quickly, is that there were still patterns, habits, scripted behavior, narratives within my mind, which would require more work. Which would require some fire, some thumos, some spirit. The fire of my will and the aim of my Sagittarian arrows. My eros, my passion. While the body, hold on 1 second. While the body does have its self-regenerative behavior, which is innate to its being, and while this self-regeneration was invited into my body and thus invited the invocation of my will and its alignment with the divine through this journey and through the decision to enter into a 40-day self-transformation portal, self-discovery portal. If you change your diet, but you don't change the way that you behave, and you stay stuck in the scarcity loops, in the self-loathing, in the self-destructive habits, in negation rather than creation, then your body is going to heal a little bit. But your life may very well just stay the same. The power of intention, the power of will, the power of free will, the power of choice, the power of prayer, the power of transcendence. These are where devotion pours itself into our bodies, into our lives, and offer the real opportunities for transformation. The moments of deepest transformation for me throughout this fast have not been from the purification and the cleansing of my body. Perhaps that played its part. But it's been those moments where I sat down and I looked deeply into my own shadows and at how they cling to my bones and to my spirit and to my flesh. And they try to weave with my will and through my will ways of self-deception, ways of self-negation. And I looked into the eyes of those shadows deep within me, and I felt the pains in which they are rooted. And I felt, and I still feel, the tensions that these cause within my body, which still require healing, and which cannot be healed merely through a change of what I consume when it comes to food. I looked into the eyes of those shadows. I looked into the depths of my darkness. And on one hand, I said, enough is enough. It is time to root out these patterns. These patterns of self-limitation, these patterns of self-doubt, these patterns of passivity, of fear, of self-enslavement and self-imprisonment, which all of these ripple out into reality. And it seems to me that human beings who do not confront their own shadows then weave their own self-delusions into the world, and then we create macrocosmic ripples of deception. How small lies to ourselves ripple into one vast lie of deceit and become a civilization that is broken, that is sick, that is fallen, that is disconnected from God in many ways. But nevertheless healing with each choice that each individual makes to return to prayer, to return to love, to confront their shadows, to heal their pains, and to heal deceit with truth. Yeah, this is the number one thing that I am still learning from this fast. I'm still going to keep going with this fast. And interestingly, if you watch my past 5 videos, there was a breakthrough of this freedom. That was like, all right, it's time for this freedom to reclaim itself, for my body to truly be free, and for my freedom to be self-actualized, and for my devotion to my freedom to be more holistic and all-encompassing, and to cut out all the energy leaks and to heal them. And that moment, one of those moments that really initiated it, was when I actually wasn't consuming anything. I have a video called I Am Breaking Free, and that was the first of a 3-day fast. No food. And so I've reached 40 days, and I touched on that freedom really deeply, and it was really breaking free, breaking open, touching upon transformations that I've been yearning for my whole life. And then I started eating fruit again and getting food in my body and grounding a little bit. And those lessons have not left. But it seems like there was a full shedding, a full reclamation that is still in the process. And so I might, as Venus is still retrograde, enter another one of those fasts. Or I might just call upon the infinite power of my will and my prayer, and above all else, God. To do it all from within my heart, irrespective of what I'm consuming or not consuming. I'm still deciding. More pragmatically, more like down to earth. I have reached this 40 days of fruit fasting and only eating fruit, and so now I'm at this point. Now what? Do I return to eating meat? Do I eat eggs? Do I eat vegetables? Do I cut out meat? Do I cut out eggs? Do I go back to being vegan? And if you saw my last video from yesterday, in college and in my experiences after that, I picked up some very strong ideological reasons and spiritual reasons for veganism. In the Garden of Eden, before the fall, God gave us every fruit from the trees and every seed to eat. And it's when we fell that we started eating meat. Now, I don't cling to that. And I'm not about to let my ideology and my mind be what dictates what I eat. I'm going to go by way of intuition and feeling. And interestingly, in the past, I have struggled with excess and deficiency. I've gone for like week-long fasts, and then afterwards I just get right back into like, okay, now I need to eat like all the food in the world. And yeah, that's been quite a struggle. And so I've been witnessing within my body like, oh, I'm nearing 40 days. Finally, I can eat eggs. Okay, I'm going to go buy 24 eggs, and I'm going to eat them all in one day. And I have like this desire in my body that's like, okay, I've just lost a bunch of weight, and now I'm like really skinny, and I kind of want to just like go through a bulking phase and go to the gym and put on a bunch of muscle and a bunch of weight to like counteract all this deficiency. I've done 40 days of deficiency. Now let's go do 40 days of excess. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it, but I'm witnessing my mind, my body going through that process, witnessing that. So who knows how I'm going to go about it. Only me and only God. And in fact, not me, only God, because I don't know yet. The point is, I feel quite confident that I'm certainly not going to return to allowing poison into my body. There was a time a few months ago when I went to San Diego and San Francisco, and I let myself slip and I was consuming seed oils and factory farmed products and food that is far beneath my health standards, or the ones that I strive to hold for myself. And I feel like I've just spent 40 days purifying my vessel, purifying my temple, purifying my body. And it would be such a dishonor, a disservice, an act of wickedness and defilement to just go right back. I'm visualizing myself going to San Diego in the next couple weeks, and to go right back and do the same thing and just fall back into eating horrible foods. So that I feel quite confident about. And food is something that I've actually struggled with a lot throughout my life. And so I feel like I've hit a really strong reset button, which allowed me to access the infinite power of my will and to recognize and reclaim the power of that will within my being. I'm not a passive accident in the universe. I'm not a victim, powerless in the universe. I have a transcendental will that has the ability to choose, that has the ability to say no to all temptations which present themselves, and to say yes to things that bring me closer to God, that make my soul feel good and free and loved by its own self. Taking care of oneself is a form of self-love, and invoking the power of one's will is a form of self-love when done for the sake of coming closer to God. So that's that on day 40. There was this little part of me. It's like, wow, it's day 40. I have to have the perfect video. I have to make it this grand thing, this celebration. But today, this is what I have, and I'm content with it. And in fact, the obligations that I just spoke of are completely illusory. They're made up in my mind. We'll see if I decide to make a more intentional, deeper reflection on the whole 40 days and really going through that entire journey and what, as I integrate, I got from it. But for now, this is it, and it's getting dark. So I'm going to go home and eat some jackfruit. Oh. Blessed be Venus. Blessed be Christ. Blessed be our wills. Blessed be our souls. Blessed be Costa Rica. Thank you to this land for holding me through this whole journey. Blessed be the stars. Blessed be the luminaries, blessed be the ocean, and blessed be you. Thank you, love you, and there is the moon. Full moon in Libra in a couple of days. Okay, goodbye. Bye-bye.